YouTube, we back on Super Bowl Sunday, right after Alexander Volkanovski got robbed from Islam Makhachev last night for his double belt crown. We'll talk about that later though, because I am a sports fan. Like I said, I am that guy. I keep up with all of it. I have been out for a little bit. Sorry for the delay, and sorry I don't have my friend, the Bears fan, with me. He's out with family getting ready for the bowl. Am I as well. Um, Other things I have planned. The NBA season has just gotten insane. Um, Kyrie to the Dallas Mavs, Kevin Durant to the Suns. We're gonna talk about that in another video, probably in the next couple of days. I'm gonna have a special guest with me to break down all that stuff as well as the buyout market because there's a lot of big names in the buyout market as well. Um, I am going to try to upload a little more than I have. I know I'm just getting started. I'm still getting new to this YouTube thing. I got a lot of ideas though, a lot of ideas that I'm wanting to give to the people. Um, and now that I'm messing around with this software that I got, what I'm saying, as you can see, I got my logo right here, Off The Grid. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a banner soon and we're gonna get it lit for you guys. Thumbnails is coming as well. I gotta work on those. I'm actually putting this on camera so that I can work myself to doing it. Um, because if I don't put it on camera, I'm not gonna do it. Um, so first thing, what I'm gonna do in this video actually is break down the Super Bowl, today's big game. Both teams, I'm gonna break down the key players from both teams on offense. I'm gonna break down the quarterback stats from both games that they've played. Each team's played 2 games in the playoffs. I'm gonna break down their combined stats and what I think of both of them, as well as the key weapons that they have in their arsenal and the defense that's backing them up. Um, I really didn't write down anything for the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense. I thought I did. But yeah, we'll leave that in there. We'll leave that in there. Um, First player I want to go over is, of course, Jalen Hurts. He did get snubbed of the MVP. He did lose it to his counterpart that we'll talk about later in this video. Through 2 games, Mr. Hurts had 31 completions for 49, 31 for 31, 31 of 49 completions. I can't talk. It's early in the morning. You got to forgive me. It's early in the morning. 31 for 49 completions. He had 275 yards in the 2 games, 2 touchdowns, and he had 20 carries for 73 yards and another 2 touchdowns as well. A lot of people say that he didn't really do much in this playoffs. I beg to differ. He was a really good leader, knew how to make the right decisions, didn't make the wrong ones, didn't put his team in bad situations. I think that's something to take note of. He Even if the opponents were having a little bit of issues on their side of the ball, I mean, it didn't stop Jalen from doing his thing. Um, their scheme is really, really creative as far as pulling guys like Jason Kelsey, um, and RPOs, um, play action, all this other, the creativity that they have putting into their offense and the leap they from year from last year when they were barely getting in and getting blown out by the Bucks to now making this massive Super Bowl run. I think is a contribute to their offense and a contribute to Nick Sirianni. I like the job that he's done as well. Um, but yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a big day today. I mean, I think he's going to have a bigger day on the ground than he is through the air. He hasn't had really that much going on in the air. Well, he hasn't really had to. I would be worried if he is throwing a lot because that means they are behind. Um, I wouldn't bank on him throwing too much. I would bank on him leaning on the run game, read options, RPOs, and things like that to get them to where they need to be. The second guy I took note of was Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has had a kind of an okay season. He really wasn't that good in fantasy. If fantasy owners, if y'all had him, he would give you 28 one week, and the next week give you 4. Um, and that's kind of not a good drop off if you are banking on winning fantasy weeks week to week. But Miles Sanders, he finished with a total of 28 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he had 1 reception for 3 yards. Um, his inconsistency is kind of why I put him on this list because we need a big game from him. Um, I know they have a lot of key guys on the Eagles. The Eagles have a lot of guys that I didn't list in their conference championship video, where I had mistakenly got both the losing teams in there instead of both of the teams that won. Um, but um, but I really need a big game out of Miles Sanders if we're gonna see the Eagles hoist this Lombardi Trophy. Um, no fumbles. He did have a couple fumbles early in the season. He had a big fumbling problem early in the season. Um, yeah, we cannot see any of that. The next guy I put on here, the last guy, is AJ Brown, and AJ Brown through 2 games has had 7 receptions for 50 yards. He really hasn't been involved because he really hasn't had to, because the games have pretty much have been over within like the first half, first quarter. Um, as far as the 49ers go, they didn't have a quarterback in the first couple plays. Ended up having McCaffrey at the end of the game taking snaps, and then with the Giants game, they were just a better team than the Giants. The Giants were just better overall, all around. Offense, defense, special teams, they were just way better. Starting off 19-0, 21-0, in that hole like that, even with a coach of the year like that, Brian Dable, you can't really come back from that. Um, but I need more from AJ Brown. AJ Brown is the guy that they made all the moves to get in draft day. He's been a key piece in the season to get them in the playoffs, to have the really good record to get the first round bye. So they had the 2 home games, and they get the kind of the schedule that they wanted to get to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna need more out of AJ Brown, a lot more out of AJ Brown. I really do like AJ Brown as a player, as a person. We had James go up there and ask him some questions about what it's like, what Philly thing means to him. You know, um, so yeah, we have some. Yeah, we need some more out of AJ Brown. 4 receptions in the 2 games. He had 4 receptions for 28 yards in one game, and 3 for 22 in another. And he can't have those games if he's expecting to win this here Super Bowl. I want to talk about some keys that the Eagles actually did in preparation for the Chiefs. They actually signed Vic Fangio to a 2-week contract. Um, and he had actually helped with the offensive side of the ball. He didn't help with the defense. Vic Fangio's defensive coordinator. He's actually going to head to the Dolphins after this. Um, but I want to see how that impacts the game and how it impacts them offensively, and what they're kind of going to do as far as adjustments. Getting a guy with that much experience in the room, in the building, is huge, especially for someone who wants to just do it for a short period of time. He has a lot of connections with the Eagles staff. Um, so that's a huge boost for the Eagles. Big power move. Uh, Big power move for the Eagles. The second thing I want to look at is that pass rush that the Eagles have. They have 4 defensive linemen finish the regular season with 10 sacks. 10 sacks is a is for 4 guys is a huge boost for your defense. That you could just sit back and just send those 4 guys and have have uh why can't I do math? 7 in coverage. Is that right? Yep. Yeah, 7 guys in coverage. Um, Guys like Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, who they picked up um, in free agency as well. Um, that's a big boost. Um, and we'll see how they do against Mr. Mahomes, as he can't move around like he could, early in the season. Um, the third thing I want to look at is the experience of Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni seemed like he just had kind of like when he was taking that press conference, he was kind of nervous. You could tell the jitters was going through him. I kind of want him to see like his experience and how he kind of catches up with kind of how Andy Reid's going. Because Andy Reid, I know for a fact, is going to fire on all cylinders. He's been here before, been here twice, been here with Mahomes. And they got a lot to prove too. And I'll talk about that as well when I cover the Chiefs. Um, but that's going to be a huge step. Decision making that Nick Sirianni has, um, and some of the key moments, key situations. I'm looking forward to see what happens with Mr. Sirianni. I did put down some guys for the defense for the Eagles. Like I said, Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick were the two main guys I was looking for. James Bradbury is also a key guy I'm looking at too. Seeing who they put him on, seeing who he covers as well. I also am interested to see how they cover Travis Kelsey. I don't know how teams prepare for Travis Kelsey, but I'm interested to see the adjustments. I remember growing up when I was watching the Super Bowl with the Patriots and the uh, and the Seahawks when they had the Legion of Boom. I remember when Rob Gronkowski was being covered by Cam Chancellor. Um, I don't know if the Eagles defense has someone like that. Maybe a CJ Gardner Johnson could maybe take that challenge on. Um, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Um, Now we're on to the Chiefs. On to the Chiefs, the exciting offense of the Kansas City Chiefs, and we got Mr. Patrick Mahomes um, leading the charge. He just won the NFL MVP honor. I guess this is going to be his second NFL MVP. He is absolutely killing it. Um, he is absolutely killing it. He had a total of 51 for 73. He had 521 yards total, and he had 4 touchdowns. Um, that is a really good stat line, including the game where he had the ankle injury. He came back, left, came back again. In that game, that was against the Jags. He only had 195, but he still had 2 touchdowns. He was still making really good decisions. And the creativity of Andy Reid to, kind of keep Mahomes healthy, um, is a testament to the in-game adjustments. Their in-game adjustments are absolutely insane. They adjust on the fly, um, and their staff, their guys are just ready. And you could say it would be experienced, but a lot of the young guys are actually on defense and offense as well. A lot of the young guys for the Chiefs have stepped up. Isaiah Pacheco is one of the guys I have listed. 22 carries, 121 yards through 2 games, no touchdowns. Out of Rutgers, 7th-round pick. He's a steal. Every draft pick or signing that both of these teams had was a hit. Um, all of these guys hit. Looking forward to seeing um, the guys that were maybe signed or drafted in this off season and seeing how they play out, because that's huge in team building. If you want to get to a stage like this, signing a guy like James Bradbury, signing a guy like who am I missing? Who am I missing? Darius Slay, Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick has been a huge steal. He came out of Carolina. And then the draft picks from the Chiefs, like Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State. Um, we got that. We got Isaiah Pacheco, obviously from Rutgers. Picking up McKinnon too, because McKinnon's been on different teams, made different stops. He actually used to play quarterback at Georgia Southern. Um, if people didn't know that, that's why he took that snap. And he was comfortable with taking that snap. And when he was playing the Raiders and they did that trick play, um, out of the hand bone triple option. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all gonna find out. Keep messing with me. Oh man. But the other guy, of course, is Travis Kelsey. He had 21 receptions, 176 yards, um, and 2 touchdowns. Actually, yeah, 3 touchdowns. Sorry, my fault. 3 touchdowns. Obviously, Travis Kelsey is Travis Kelsey. I don't need to say much about Mr. Kelsey. Him facing his brother on the other side, Jason Kelsey. Both those guys are really good, are the best at their positions. Um, Really interested to see how that plays out as well. Um, so for the Chiefs, I had seen a report that they were going to put a lot of Kadarius Tony in. They have a lot of Kadarius Tony packages ready to go. I'm interested to see the pickup they got with Tony out of the Giants. Came out of Florida, real shifty guy, can move, good hands. Is has a little trouble with health. Health is a concern with this one with him. Hopefully he stays healthy and stays on the field because I want to see what happens with him. Obviously, the ankle of Mahomes is a key thing as well. Is a real key factor. Um, I would like to see how creative Andy Reid has gotten with these 2 weeks to be able to draw up a scheme, and also how Mahomes' rehab has been going um, to rehab the ankle and kind of get it going for today's game. The third thing I was wanting to look at is if Kelsey was held in check, which is probably not going to happen, but if he is, um, who is the second guy to step up? In the conference championship game, it was MVS, Marquez Valdes Scantling, with 6 for 116 and a touchdown. Um, the week before that, it was Pacheco, it was Chad Henne, Joshua Williams, Watson, Cook on that defense as well. All of these guys are young guys that hit. I'm also looking forward to the play of Trent McDuffie. McDuffie is absolutely an insane corner, and they drafted him late. That's a steal. That's another guy I'm looking forward that hit and he's on the ground, off the ground running. I want to see who they have him lined up against. Maybe they sign him to AJ Brown. Maybe they assign him to Devontae Smith. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm really interested to see what Spagnola has planned for the defense. Um, and I'm really interested, like I said, to see the creativity of the Chiefs offense. Like I said, they have a tall task against the Eagles pass rush. Um, that Eagles pass rush is absolutely insane. With having, like I said in the last segment, 4 guys with 10 sacks is a huge boost for your defense. I got player props. Interesting player props to watch. I like I like Tony 34 and a half rushing plus receiving yards if he stays healthy. That is one of the ones I was looking for to go higher on. Um, Tony is going to be a big part of this Kansas City Chiefs attack. Mahomes 25 completions, 25 and a half completions. I went higher on that as well. I don't think he's going to throw anything less than that unless barring his ankle. Um, then we'll see. But barring health, I'm 100% sure that he's going to hit that one. Kelsey 7.5 receptions. He had 7 in one game. He had 14 in the other. I mean, to me, he's a target monster. There's no one that can guard him. The plays that they have set up for him after the catch is kind of what I'm interested for. They actually had a double option, if you've seen it, where he was going to pitch it to the guy on the end after he ran that curl. Um, the things that Andy Reid's going to have set up are going to be cold. I promise. For the Eagles, I had Jalen Hurts with 49 and a half rushing yards higher. Um, he actually hasn't really had a really good passing game. A lot of them were um, passing, passing yards, completions. I really didn't like those too much. Especially if they're winning, the game plan would be more like to keep it on the ground, keep the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. Um, maybe not make too, maybe try not to make a mistake because the Kansas City Chiefs defense is good at causing mistakes. They actually caused 2 interceptions against Burrow. I actually went with Quez Watkins as well because like I said, the AJ Brown. I don't know if he's gonna have a big day. If AJ Brown doesn't, I'm expecting someone else to step up. Obviously the obvious name would be Dallas Goddard, but Quez Watkins with his speed is going to be a matchup nightmare. Because you got to account for Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, a top 5 duo in the league at wide receiver. The last one I went with was AJ Brown under It was under 13 and a half fantasy points, 13.5 fantasy points. He hasn't really shown up for me. I need to see more out of him. Um, like I said, and it's going to be interesting to see how they guard him as well and see who they put with him. That matchup is going to go insane. The final thing is I'm going to predict the score and get up out of here, get ready for this game, get ready with the fam. I'm actually going to go with the Chiefs 38-31. I think it's going to be a real close game, high scoring game. A lot of people are questioning the Eagles' strength of schedule. I kind of have the same concern, but a lot of their guys hit though. I still think um, if they had a tougher schedule, I still think they would have maybe one loss, maybe two more losses. James Bradbury was a good signing. Hassan Reddick was a good signing. AJ Brown was a good signing. They drafted Devontae Smith, Leonard Dickerson. I mean, they just, everybody that they got was a instant hit. Um, as well as the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually drafted really well. A lot of teams that have a real good run, a really good run like this, always draft late. Um, they always have like the last bit of the litter, but they always find that steal. They always find that guy. Trent McDuffie was one of them. A big time corner. Looking forward to seeing him play. Looking forward to watching him, live because I hadn't really had a chance to, from where I'm located at, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I got the Chiefs 38-31 due to Mahomes just the creativity of Andy Reid. And I think the defense for the Chiefs is the underrated factor, and they might cause a turnover or two to flip field position. Um, so yeah, that is my prediction for the Super Bowl. Things to watch is a little quick video to get y'all up, get y'all ready, get y'all hype. I'm hyped for the game, even though my team's never going to be in it. They're never going to be in it. Oh man! But till next time, YouTube. We'll see you. Peace.